Hello, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host, and as always, I'm joined by my fantastic co-host, Julia. Julia, how are you today?
I'm great, Jason. Super excited for today's topic because I know it's going to help a lot of English learners improve their speaking skills. And hello to all our listeners. Get ready for an exciting and practical episode.
That's right. Today, we're talking about something that many English learners struggle with: how to talk fast and think faster. If you've ever felt stuck searching for the right words in a conversation, or if you've been told that you speak too slowly, don't worry. You're not alone.
Exactly. Speaking fast and thinking quickly in English is a skill that takes practice, but once you master it, your conversations will feel more natural, confident, and engaging.
In this episode, we'll explore why fast thinking is important, the challenges English learners face, and most importantly, techniques to help you train your brain to think and speak faster. By the end, you'll have actionable tips that you can start using right away.
And don't worry if you think, but what if I make mistakes? We'll also cover how to speak quickly without losing clarity and how to gain confidence while speaking. So if you're ready to boost your English fluency, stay with us.
Let's dive right in. First, let's talk about why speaking fast and thinking fast actually matter in real conversations. So, before we jump into the techniques, let's first talk about why speaking fast and thinking fast actually matter. Julia, have you ever been in a situation where you had to respond quickly in a conversation?
Oh, absolutely. I remember when I first started learning a new language, I would always pause a lot trying to translate in my head. It made conversations feel slow and unnatural. But once I trained myself to think in the language, my responses became quicker, and I felt more confident.
That's a great point. And for many English learners, one of the biggest struggles is that they take too long to find the right words. This can make conversations feel frustrating, both for them and for the person they're talking to.
Exactly. When you speak too slowly, sometimes people might interrupt or lose patience. But when you think fast and respond smoothly, you keep the conversation flowing naturally.
And speaking quickly isn't just about speed, it's about fluency. Have you noticed that native speakers often talk fast, especially in casual conversations?
Oh, yes. Native speakers rarely speak word by word. They use contractions, connected speech, and natural rhythms. If learners can train their brain to process English faster, they'll be able to follow conversations more easily and sound more natural.
Right. Let's look at some situations where thinking and speaking quickly can be really useful.
Okay. First, imagine you're in a job interview. If you take too long to answer a question, it might seem like you're unsure or unprepared. But if you can quickly structure your thoughts and respond smoothly, you'll sound more professional and confident.
That's a great example. Another one is meeting new people. When you're introducing yourself or making small talk, a natural flow is important. If you pause too much, the conversation can feel awkward. But if you can keep up, it becomes easier to connect with others.
And let's not forget about debates and discussions. If you're in a classroom, a meeting, or even a friendly argument, quick thinking helps you express your ideas clearly and convincingly.
So, the bottom line is, fast thinking leads to fluent speaking, and fluent speaking leads to better communication. But here's the challenge. Many English learners struggle with this. Why? Well, that's exactly what we're going to discuss next. All right. Now that we understand why talking fast and thinking faster are important, let's talk about something every English learner faces: challenges. Julia, what do you think is one of the biggest reasons learners struggle to speak fast?
Oh, there are quite a few, but one of the biggest reasons is thinking in their native language first. Many learners translate in their heads before speaking, and that slows everything down.
Exactly. When you translate word by word, it takes time. And by the time you form your sentence, the conversation might have already moved on.
Yes, instead, learners need to train their brain to think directly in English. We'll talk about how to do that in a bit, but let's first look at some other challenges. Jason, what's another big issue?
I'd say fear of making mistakes. A lot of learners hesitate because they're afraid of saying something wrong. They stop to correct themselves, and that makes them speak even more slowly.
Oh, that's a big one. But the truth is, mistakes are a natural part of learning. If you try to speak perfectly all the time, you'll always pause, and that actually makes you sound less confident.
Right. Confidence is key. I always tell my students, it's better to speak quickly with small mistakes than to pause too much and lose the flow of conversation.
Absolutely. And speaking of pauses, another challenge is limited vocabulary. When learners don't know enough words, they stop mid-sentence to search for the right one. That's when we hear a lot of,
That's true. And you know what makes this even harder? Not knowing enough filler phrases to keep talking. Native speakers use fillers like, well, you know, the thing is, or I mean to keep the conversation flowing while thinking of what to say next.
Yes, those little expressions buy you time so you don't feel stuck in silence. And here's another challenge: not enough listening practice. If you don't listen to English often, your brain isn't used to processing it quickly.
That's a great point. Listening is directly connected to speaking speed. The more you hear fast English, the better your brain gets at understanding and responding quickly.
Exactly. So, let's sum it up. Translating from the native language, fear of mistakes, limited vocabulary, lack of filler phrases, and not enough listening practice, these are some of the biggest obstacles that slow learners down.
And the good news is, all of these can be improved with the right techniques. Up next, we're going to share some powerful strategies to help you think faster in English. Stay with us. All right. Now that we've talked about the common challenges English learners face, it's time for the exciting part: how to actually train your brain to think faster in English. Julia, where should we start?
Let's start with one of the most powerful techniques: thinking in English. If you're always translating from your native language, it will slow you down. Instead, you need to start training your brain to form thoughts directly in English.
Yes, and an easy way to do this is to describe what you see around you in English. For example, if you're walking outside, say to yourself, "The weather is nice today. The sky is blue. I see a dog running." This builds a habit of forming sentences quickly without translating.
That's a great tip. Another one is speed speaking exercises. Set a timer for 60 seconds and try to talk about a simple topic without stopping. It could be about your day, your hobbies, or your favorite food. The goal is not to be perfect, but to keep talking.
I love that. And if you're struggling with words, use filler phrases to keep going. Say things like, "Well, let me think," or "What I mean is," instead of pausing in silence.
Yes, that's what native speakers do all the time. Another great technique is shadowing. This means listening to native English audio and trying to repeat it at the same speed without pausing.
Oh, shadowing is one of my favorites. It forces you to process English quickly and helps with pronunciation too. You can do this with podcasts, YouTube videos, or even movies.
Exactly. And speaking of movies, another fun technique is role-playing. Pretend you're in a real-life situation, like ordering food in a restaurant or introducing yourself at a meeting. Imagine the conversation and practice responding quickly.
I love that. You can even record yourself and listen back to see where you can improve. And here's another trick. Use word association games. This trains your brain to connect words quickly.
That's a fun one. Like if I say coffee, you quickly respond with morning, then I say breakfast, and you say eggs. It helps build mental connections fast.
Exactly. And don't forget, reading out loud is a great way to speed up your thinking. When you read aloud, your brain gets used to forming sentences faster.
Yes. So to recap, think in English. Practice speed speaking, use fillers, try shadowing, do role-playing, record yourself, play word games, and read aloud. These techniques will help you process English faster and speak more fluently.
And now, let's talk about the final step. How to stay confident while speaking fast. Stay tuned. Now that we've talked about how to think faster in English, let's move on to the next step. How to actually train yourself to speak faster. Julia, where should we start?
Well, the first and most important thing is practicing with a timer. Set a timer for 30 seconds or 1 minute, pick a simple topic, and try to speak non-stop until the timer runs out.
That's a great one. And if you get stuck, don't stop. Just use filler phrases like, you know, or what I'm trying to say, is to keep the flow going.
Yes. Another technique is speed reading out loud. Find a short paragraph and try to read it faster and faster each time. This trains your mouth and brain to coordinate better.
That's a solid tip. I also love tongue twisters. Saying things like, she sells seashells by the seashore, helps train your pronunciation and speaking speed.
Oh yes, tongue twisters force you to speak faster while keeping your words clear. And speaking of clarity, another exercise is mimicking native speakers.
Right. Listen to native speakers in podcasts or videos and copy their rhythm and speed. Try to match their speed as closely as possible.
Exactly. And here's a powerful trick. Chunking sentences. Instead of thinking about one word at a time, practice speaking in groups of words. For example, instead of saying, I am going to the store, say, I'm going to the store as one smooth phrase.
Oh, that's a game changer. Another thing that helps is reducing hesitation. If you notice yourself pausing too much, record yourself speaking and listen back to spot where you slow down.
Yes, and don't forget, daily conversation practice is key. Talk to a friend, join a speaking group, or even just talk to yourself in the mirror. The more you speak, the faster you get.
Absolutely. So to recap, use a timer, speed read, practice tongue twisters, mimic native speakers, chunk sentences, reduce hesitation, and practice daily conversations. These methods will help you speak faster and more naturally.
And now, for the final part, how to stay confident while speaking fast. Stay with us.
We've talked about how to think faster and how to train yourself to speak faster, but there's one big challenge left: fear. Many English learners worry that if they speak too fast, they'll make mistakes. Julia, why do you think this happens?
Great question, Jason. Fear comes from a few things. The fear of making mistakes, the fear of not being understood, and the fear of sounding unnatural. But the truth is, these fears hold you back from improving.
Exactly. So, the first way to overcome this fear is to accept that mistakes are normal. Even native speakers mess up when they talk fast, but they just keep going.
Yes, instead of stopping when you make a mistake, just correct yourself naturally and move on. For example, if you say, I went to the store, that's totally fine. It happens to everyone.
That's a great point. Another trick is starting slow and increasing speed gradually. If you feel nervous, begin at a comfortable pace, and then challenge yourself to go a little faster each time.
I love that. And here's another big one. Practice speaking under pressure. Try recording yourself speaking quickly for 30 seconds, or even challenge yourself to answer questions in real time without overthinking.
Oh yes, spontaneous speaking builds confidence. And don't forget, focus on clarity, not just speed. It's okay to be fast, but your words should still be clear.
Absolutely. And finally, remember that confidence comes from practice. The more you train yourself to speak fast, the more natural and fearless you'll become.
Exactly. So, to summarize, accept mistakes, correct yourself naturally, start slow, practice under pressure, focus on clarity, and keep practicing. These steps will help you overcome the fear of speaking fast.
And now, let's wrap up everything we've learned today in our final thoughts.
We've talked about so many great techniques today, but now it's time for action. If you want to think faster, speak faster, and feel more confident, you need to practice consistently. So, Julia, what exercises can our listeners try right now?
Great question, Jason. Let's start with an easy one, the 60-second speed talk. Choose a simple topic like my favorite food or what I did today, set a timer for 60 seconds, and speak non-stop without worrying about mistakes.
Oh, that's a fun one. And if you get stuck, just use filler words like, let me think, or, well, to keep going. The goal is to train your brain to keep talking.
Exactly. Another powerful exercise is shadowing. Pick an English podcast or YouTube video, play a short sentence, and repeat it immediately, trying to match the speed and pronunciation.
Oh, I love shadowing. It forces you to think and speak quickly like a native speaker. And here's another challenge: fast reading aloud. Take a short paragraph and try reading it faster each time while keeping your words clear.
Great one. And don't forget about tongue twisters. Try saying Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers 5 times in a row without slowing down.
Haha, that's a tough one. But it really helps with pronunciation and speed. Here's one last challenge. Record yourself speaking for 1 to 2 minutes. Then listen back. See where you hesitate and try again to improve.
Yes, listening to yourself helps you spot areas to improve. So let's recap speed talk for 60 seconds. Shadowing, fast reading, tongue twisters, and recording yourself. Do these daily and you'll see huge progress.
Exactly. Now, let's wrap things up with our final thoughts and a challenge for our listeners. Wow, what a great session today. We've covered so much. Why thinking and speaking fast matter, common challenges, powerful techniques, and even practice exercises to help you improve.
Yes, and remember, speaking fast isn't just about speed. It's about confidence, clarity, and training your brain to think in English naturally. The more you practice, the easier it gets.
Absolutely. And here's our challenge for you. Pick one of today's exercises and practice it for just 5 minutes today. Whether it's the 60-second speed talk, shadowing, or tongue twisters, take action and start improving.
And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Also, leave a comment telling us which exercise you're going to try first.
Yes, keep practicing, stay confident, and remember, the more you speak, the better you get. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.